I got to figure out a way to adjust so that the background music is a little louder.
Oh, okay.
It seems like it's not going right now, but it's going. Good morning. It's GloucesterCast 319. It is January 25th. We have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Mark Ring.
Good morning, Joe.
He's looking out the door for the special guest.
Yeah.
Nice to see you in the daylight.
Mark, I feel, can be an impartial judge on one of the topics.
Oh, okay. All right.
That it could go either way, and I feel like your fate really rests in his hands at this point.
I already feel bushwhacked.
No. We'll get to that part. Pat and Jimmy are here.
Good morning, Gloucester.
Good morning, Gloucester.
Kim has, failed us once again.
Well, she's got grandmother duties.
Yeah,
That's,
well,
fair enough.
she's out chasing plovers around, I think, something like that. She's guarding the plovers against the snowy owls. Pluck them off one by one on the.
I wore my special.
What a conundrum for her, though, that she's a lover of the snowies,
And the
who
predator.
also is a predator of the piping plovers.
And I wore my special owl necklace for her today, so I guess I'll have to bring it another day.
That's kind of shiny, so be careful with that because the osprey could swoop down and get you.
That's right.
Okay.
They're
You
around.
never know.
Are they around?
He was on the building over there last week one morning.
Oh, okay.
So first things first.
Ready. We're ready.
Yesterday, no boats went fishing. I called Jimmy up. I says, Jimmy's now official member of the Gloucester Elks. He was a member up in the upstate New York Elks.
26 years.
Wow.
Nice.
Congratulations.
And
My third.
so I meet him over there, and he presents me with something. Pat, you do the honors.
I was afraid to touch it a little bit.
Where's the music?
He presents me. They thought, and this is where the question comes in. He presents me with a Boston Globe matted of the day after the AFC Championship, the headlines from the Boston Globe, so that we could put it up on the wall. Now, here's where the problem comes in. Being a Jets fan and Pat a Buffalo Bills fan, they may not get that we don't celebrate AFC championships around here. We celebrate Super Bowls around here.
Well, first of all, let me offer my condolences to both of you.
Wait, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out if this was they tried to put if this was truly out of negligence, because
negligence.
they're not here. They don't understand
thank you, Mark.
the rarefied air that a Patriots fan get to breathe.
How would they even get it? How would they even get it?
Well, the other side of the coin is, or was it that they put the mamaus on us and as a jinx?
If it was a Sports Illustrated cover, definitely. If it was Sports Illustrated, that's the end. That's the biggest
Everybody
jinx in all
knows
of
that
sports.
one. Everybody knows
I
that
think
one.
it's just probably negligence and they're not local to begin with.
Well, they live here now.
They live here now, but they're
Right.
carpetbaggers.
Yeah.
Right. So, with what we've been through, you know that goats don't gloat.
Yeah.
It's just what you wait until it's over,
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
and if it doesn't work out, you lose gracefully and move on, and just get another championship next year.
AFC championships, to them, that's like a Super Bowl win for them. But to us,
you don't touch that trophy. You don't even look at that.
Do you remember Parcells
Hand it off and-
do you remember Belichick a couple days ago? He got the commissioner handed him the Lamar Hunt AFC Championship trophy. He couldn't get it out. It was like a hot potato. He could not get it out of his hands fast enough. He had no interest in the Lamar Hunt AFC Championship trophy.
In hockey, the team will not even touch the trophy for the conference championship until they get to the Stanley Cup and get to hoist the cup. They will not even touch it.
one of the things that I did not take into full account was the high level of superstition.
Well, I am going to turn it back over again.
Yes, I can accept that. But
So,
thank you for the
how would you handle this? Would you? There's been talk. So I put it out there. There's been several suggestions. Let me pull up the suggestions so that you can review them, and maybe you might have a better alternative.
You did write them down.
We have it written down here. Let's see. I'm going to go right to the thing. He said, one guy says, someone said to hide it under the bed or in a closet. Another person said take a shit on it. Another person says use it to light the charcoal for whatever you're grilling on Super Bowl Sunday. And another person says burn it with some sage. That may do the trick.
Left to my own devices, I would just leave it hands off, as the team does.
And like the trophies and the
Face down, over in a corner. Thank you very much. We feel your pain. And we realize that you
You're
just
being
wouldn't
very generous.
understand
Thank
because, we're just, and it's never old hat, but we do have some experience.
You
at
know,
this.
we try to explain some of this to people in New York when we go back and we talk about, what we've been doing and everything. And they just really don't get it. I mean, we're tiptoeing into this and we're getting used to a couple things, but they really just do not get it.
Yeah, well, I'm. So Mark, this is the judge, jury, and executioner right here. Your final say: was this malicious? Should we treat it that way, or was it negligence?
No, I believe it's negligence. I mean, you're coming from an area with 5 Super Bowls, all losses. Buffalo.
Yeah.
The Jets just totally inept year after year with a mouth. Lots of times.
Rex Ryan. Yeah.
A mouth with toenails. So I would just say negligence, take the high road, but leave it alone.
Yeah. Face down.
Well, I saw celebration. I'm not used to seeing celebration.
No, you celebrate when it stops snowing in New York.
Well, actually, the
last
celebration they have in the Jets is, when they run on the field because they actually all made it through the sign without hurting himself. So that's why they're excited.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, then the big celebration is when the season's over.
Yeah.
The last
No
celebration that Jimmy had was the Mets in '86. That was the last thing that he could celebrate.
That was a good one to celebrate, too.
What was the butt fumble day like for you?
That?
What was that? Was that the low? Was that a low? Or when they lined up in that formation, or was that Indianapolis when they did the 3 guys behind each other there?
No, it was
for the
Everyone
kickoff.
forgets that it wasn't Game 7 when it happened with Buckner.
Right.
It was Game 6. Everyone forgets that. They had another game, and they blew it.
Oh, yeah, the Buckner thing, no doubt.
Yeah. He should.
All right, Pat and Jimmy, you can rest
Thank you,
easy
Mark.
now.
Thank you for the dispensation.
You got a lenient judge. I believe you got a lenient judge right here.
It was an oversight. It was a ignorance mistake.
If the Rams,
I didn't have a lot of faith in the Patriots a month ago for this season, so I give them all the credit in the world, and I can see why people would get excited to get this far, but you still have to just put it aside and wait till a week from Sunday.
We will.
if the Rams blow the Pats out, I suggest maybe a little mini vacation for the two of you. I'm just saying.
I'm going to have to hide. Because the New York plate, it doesn't matter.
First thing I noticed this morning when I drove in,
Yeah.
we've got an invader.
Who these carpetbaggers?
I just want to know after all.
Do you know that they told me that they routinely, especially in the summertime, there are people that will roll down their windows and tell them, "Why don't you go back to New York?" Can you believe that?
I believe that.
That's amazing to me.
That's not even ignorant. That's that new word, ignorant.
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 Yeah.
It's worse than ignorant.
Oh, okay.
Because it's people that are educated, so they're above ignorant. They're just plain ignorant.
Ignorant. Okay.
Terrible.
Hadn't heard that yet.
All right, so you heard everything. What is your thing? Is your listeners?
Listen. If there's one of my lobstermen that I respect the opinion of that can be fair, balanced, and impartial, it would be Mark Ring. There are certain guys that I would not take what they had to say, but I respect his opinion as a fair and balanced.
I'm just grateful because he's been buffering up with all this food this morning because he was ready to take his.
We thought that I might have to take a poop on it
And
to reverse the curse. I mean, if they do
You
lose,
got to do what you got to do.
if we do lose, there's going to be an exorcism.
I've got plenty of Dulcolax at home. Inside story on that.
Well, it wasn't such an inside story for us yesterday on the 2 days ago on the podcast. I bought the suppositories instead of the oral ones for my colonoscopy, and then I didn't read it because they had 26 packs of the regular ones, and they had 8 packs of the.
You didn't eat them,
oral
did
ones.
you?
No. It said it on the package. Anyway, so
right,
so
okay, I'm getting it.
so speaking of monster jinxes, in 2015, this is the date. It was January 25th, 2015, that I remember saying, Mark, listen to. So January 25th, 2015, I can remember. We're talking about jinxes here, right? January 25th, 2015, I remember saying to Kate, we got this far without any snow. We only have another month and a half, and of winter. We're pretty much in the clear at this point, and then the snow just came and came and came and came and came. Now, Kate acknowledged, we talked about this yesterday earlier in the day. Last night, she said to me, I haven't even bought Connor a pair of winter boots yet. I have to go to Kohl's and get him a pair of winter boots. She goes, but what is it going to snow? Maybe 4 more times all year? She said this last night.
Oh no!
On the eve of that, what happened?
Yeah.
In 2015, we got all that
And then
snow.
it came.
It could snow 4 more times, 2 feet apiece or some. stupid
Oh,
number
I
like
just
that.
pray that we
We'll
don't
get our
get it.
share.
Yeah, we will. I think you're right. But how we had that Monster Ice event, and and yesterday's rain. I woke up this morning and the gravel outside my thing was all dry. I was surprised when I woke up.
Yeah.
Mark is here as a representative of the Gloucester. What do you call it? The
Fisheries Commission.
Fisheries Commission. And yesterday is it the first meeting for this year's seafood show?
No, we've had meetings, but yesterday was a meeting where we brought industry in to lay out the groundwork of how it's going to run this year. It's our 5th year, and if they had any other ideas and where the booth is going to be, because we moved the booth a little bit. And this year there's a new area called Mass Ave that's partially funded by the state of Massachusetts for Massachusetts seafood companies to have their own area where a lot of smaller companies could never afford to have a booth at the seafood show because
that's
it's very
a good idea.
expensive. So
I bet it is.
Incredible exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, international exposure. Incredible.
I mean, like this, Alaska has their own big forum. They probably spend $300,000 or $400,000.
Oh,
So
wow.
small companies could never afford to get a booth, and it's in a great spot. So there's 2 or 3 companies from Gloucester that are participating in that. And we're going to do same thing that we've done. It's our 5th year. This year we're going to focus on flounder. And
we got a little.
we must be flying into the wind this morning. Kim, the butterfly girl, arrived late.
We got a little Zucchi with us.
Hey!
We have Charlotte.
Hey.
Charlotte is her first visit to the wharf.
How are
Hi,
you?
Charlotte.
How are you?
I like your red boots.
She got a little shy with the round machines.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said, we're going to go visit Mimi's friends, Joey, Pat, and
So anyway,
Jimmy and Mark.
it's our
and she goes, Jojo.
Does she have
see? All the girls for JoJo.
little Schmoopy over there?
Yeah, hi. We'll just stay for a minute.
All right, great.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how long she's going to last for.
I wish I had some treats for her. I wish I had some treats.
Well, you ate them all because you're getting ready to focus on the
Hi, sweetie.
poster.
Yeah. We just.
focused. Thank you for that
She
word.
adorable.
That's not what he was telling me last night. But that's okay. Well, I think it's great that it's the opportunity that it's getting bigger and the small businesses.
Yeah.
How many of those do you have
How many businesses?
that have want to do this because it's your 5th year, and I know it's increased. We've heard that.
Well, the city of Gloucester has their own booth, and it's their 5th year, and we're the only city in Massachusetts that has a booth.
Oh, really?
Boston doesn't have a booth. New Bedford doesn't have a booth. We're the only ones.
And you would
it's been
think that New
way.
Bedford would have one because New
They
Bedford
always
as a
did.
port is probably 20
Right.
times
Number one value port.
number one value port by and a lot of my fishermen that will go down to New Bedford will say that this Gloucester as a port is like JV sports
Okay.
versus like professional.
Oh,
like they have
wow.
so
I
many
didn't
gear
realize
shops
that.
still down there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They have so much of their waterfront was city owned. So it was and so they were able to secure a lot of funding to preserve a lot of their waterfront.
And New Bedford got to the point where the scallop industry is so successful, I don't even feel they saw a benefit to having to go to the show and spend any money.
Oh, really?
Right,
The scallops sell themselves.
But it
So
comes
they-
back to Gloucester.
I mean, it's always hard to gauge it because it's
Yeah,
proprietary.
you don't know
and people
what the-
don't want to share it, but we see it. We've had foreign groups come to Gloucester and tour the facilities after the show, and we track it with badges, at the show, and we get the follow-up. But once it becomes business on business, we stay out of it because, people don't like to share a lot of that.
Right.
It's competitive.
Understand.
But I think it's
Yeah.
hugely successful from the industry standpoint and a tourism standpoint because a lot of people come up after the show so it's great. This year we're focusing on flounders and lobster, where we're the number one lobster port.
Yeah.
And there'll be samples at the booth, and we team with a company from Boston, and he does the cooking with a bunch of interns and
What's
stuff.
the name of that? What's the name?
Snapshot.
Snapshot. Yeah.
Great outfit.
Yeah,
He
they do.
trains kids in an intern program where when they come out of this program they could go to work at any type of a
Any
restaurant,
restaurant.
say Outback Steakhouse or Gillette Stadium or
And those
hotel.
those jobs nowadays are actually
Yeah.
good jobs.
Good
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah.
So
good
we
paying
team with
jobs.
him on Monday. We have a VIP luncheon that's invite only in a private room for businesses and people that are connected to the industry. And then during the show, industry can contact us through the people we work with, the PR people, and they can have a private room where they can have private meetings instead of meeting with them at the booth
Right.
on the floor where it's kind of noisy.
And when is the show?
It's
Approximately.
begins on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay.
Sunday the 17th, Monday the 18th, Tuesday the 19th. Hopefully there's not a blizzard this year. Last year there was.
Yeah.
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 Number 2 nor'easter or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's been hugely successful, and
They've done some
benefits.
really innovative things since Safatia kind of came on the scene and she assembled this team, including Mark and Sal Di Stefano. Like one of the things I thought was just over the top, like really forward thinking, was they actually hired buses, and during the course of the show had these international huge outfits sign up to come to Gloucester and gave them tours of all the
Oh,
different
nice.
facilities
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
operations
Yeah,
in
when you're
town.
that close. Yeah.
I mean, and the way you
got
can
to
say what
think,
you
yeah.
want about Safati. I happen to think she's fantastic, but the way she can make anyone feel welcome, and I know personally the way to anyone's heart, as we say, is through food.
Yeah.
And they put out an incredible spread, which just it's like drawing honey,
Yeah.
bees to the honey. And
well,
stuff
we've
like
been brought up and reprimanded because the booth has become so popular with other people in the area saying they've been swallowed up by the crowd at the Gloucester booth at times, which is all good
That's
Yeah.
for us.
great.
Yeah.
And other people with booths,
Reprimanded?
well, by other people because
Yeah.
there's no one at their booth, but other booths have loved it,
Yeah.
So it's amazing every year how the dynamic changes. 2 years ago, it was all Asian interest in lobster. Last year, it was a lot more interest in locally sourced Northeast fish from here to Canada. So it changes from year to year. It's amazing. We don't know what it will hold this year because of the tariffs with China and everything else. You don't know, but we're focusing on lobster and the different types of flounders.
Well, it's great. I know I appreciate what you guys do.
Yeah,
and
sounds great. You guys
Yeah.
go big. That's what you do.
big time.
We're worried about the St. Patrick's Day conflict.
Yeah.
In Southie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the shows. I haven't been to the show now that since it's been moved to the convention center. I'd always gone to when it was across from was it Boylston Street?
Yeah, the Prue.
Yeah, the Prue.
old days.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's a lot bigger.
It's bigger.
Bigger.
Is it all on the same floor, or is it on multi floors? Because it used to be on 3 floors.
Yeah, but this is one big floor at the convention center, so it's all on the one floor. But then there's meeting rooms upstairs,
Yeah.
and a lot of glass where you're looking down on the floor from the whole
To really
typical
get an
convention
idea.
center.
I have to go this year. I have to really make a point of going.
Monday's the day to go. You should go Monday.
Well, if I have to work, so if no boats go fishing, I really ought to make a thing. I wanted to do a special thank you to Donnie King, who went smelt fishing with local fishing icon Al Williams, and he provided me with some smelt. Smelt,
Oh,
if you
nice.
haven't had it before, is one of my. It's probably one of my top 7 seafoods. Fried smelt.
Is that similar to whiting?
It is very similar to wine.
Yeah.
You eat it very similar,
Yep.
same way.
Yeah.
Fry it, a lot of salt, and you
That
make it
crispy little crust and that tender white flesh.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skin
When
gets
Kim,
nice
when
and
you
crispy.
fry fish, what do you use for? Do you use regular flour or do you use cornmeal or what do you use?
I use just a little light dusting of flour with salt and pepper.
Do you oil it first or you just roll it directly into the flour?
I don't usually oil it. It's usually a little bit damp. Sometimes I dip it in milk and then put it in the flour.
How about you, Mark?
Egg, finest corn flour you can get.
Corn flour. Now, is corn flour different than cornstarch?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Corn flour is corn. It's ground up cornmeal. Cornstarch is the sugar. It's like a dehydrated sugar.
Cornstarch is water is what you can use to thicken a gravy or
It's
a
almost
sauce.
like baking soda or
got-
the texture
okay.
of baking
The yellow
soda.
corn flour is what I've used, and that's what everyone used in the old days. The yellow
What do they use at the fish shacks? Like
corn flour.
Corn flour.
The yellow.
So this flour I should throw it away.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
What kind of flour is
All
that?
It's just all-purpose
Oh,
flour. It's fine for the smelts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I use. And I got vegetable oil.
Well,
Yeah.
smelt fishing's a big deal up in New York, and that's freshwater smelt. But these, I'm assuming, are saltwater smelt.
They're the same though. Same fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what.
Because they spawn. Is
Yeah.
that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you buy smelts in a big market where they're frozen in a bag, chances are they come from upstate New York or the Great Lakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything you see fresh would be local.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I found that I've bought them in the bags.
Not as flavorful.
Not even
No.
close
Right.
to be as flavorful.
Like any other fish.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very passionate.
So there's that. Here's a question that we had. Someone in my house that I may or may not be related through engagement has sleeping problems. She's a very light sleeper, and so every time there's a commercial for a different type of pillow or mattress topper or
Did she try that?
weighted blanket, whatever it is, she's all in.
Did she
said,
try
this
it?
is going to be the thing that's going to allow me to sleep.
Did she try my pillow? Because I'm dying to know.
I can tell you. I don't know whether anybody in his house has tried my pillow or not,
Yeah.
but we did because, and I spent a ridiculous amount of money because it's pillows here and it's pillows in New York too.
Right.
Because I was told it would help with sleeping and it would also help with somebody in my house who I may or may not be related to by marriage snores a bit. So it was supposed to help with that. So I got those pillows for both places, and I think they are helping.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I do think
Really?
they're helping.
So did Kate.
So the new thing is, well, we've been through the pillow thing. We've been through a bunch of different
The
things.
mattress topper.
The thing is, so now it's just, she's waking up very, very stiff, and the bed is 13 years old. How long do you keep a mattress?
It depends on where it's made and how well it's made, and if
Yeah.
it's keeping its shape.
Yeah.
How about a really good Gardner mattress from back 13 years?
Done.
Done?
13 years, you're done.
I was going
Done.
to say
You gotta
10
buy a new
years or
mattress?
thereabouts.
Yeah, but I do know people that swear by the pillows.
Mattress
We have
topper?
one. It didn't.
the pillows?
It did nothing for me, but I know people that swear by it. My brother Tom swears by it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it did help.
My pillow?
My suggestion to Kate would be 3 bourbons at 9:30 just before bed. She'll sleep right through the night.
Well, she
And
does the wine thing pretty good.
All right.
That's how I got into essential oils, helping me sleep.
Essential oils.
So that helped quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Spearmint?
Does
Actually,
anybody have any
bergamot.
experience or have talked to anyone that has done the weighted blanket thing?
My daughter has a weighted blanket. And she loves it. She got it because she's a little on the anxious side, or she thinks that she is, and she loves it. I don't know how much it
You can avoid the weighted blanket, Joe,
with a dog.
because they're pretty yeah, get a St. Bernard and just let it in the bed with you. Perfect. The problem is the
that's
St.
not
Bernards
good.
are known to snore.
There you go.
Oh, the drool.
And drool.
Oh,
You gotta get a
you would
waterproof
think
one.
you would think the drool would be not
Yeah.
a good thing. Because,
Well, you don't have to bring any water to bed with you, right?
well, I was thinking something. But that's okay.
So you can't handle that.
No, that's
Weighted
not going to
blankets are
happen.
very expensive, though.
They are.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna go pillow to the weighted blanket to a new mattress, I think that's the order, for expenses. So
I'm not getting any of it. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I sleep like a rock no matter what. She can get whatever she wants.
the oils
Well,
does the trick.
It's like every time there's something, it's like this is gonna.
you know
The
what?
power of commercials.
Oh my god, yeah.
But you know what-
I think this is the thing. I think when you don't sleep,
You're
you
gonna
will
get
glom
tried.
on. You will try anything.
You'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I get it because when you go
like headaches
a
or
week
anything
of
else.
bad,
Right.
yeah, like headaches.
Yeah.
You go a week without good sleep, you're ready for a funny farm.
Right. You feel
Yeah.
you don't feel yourself at all.
I agree. Pat posted Mark when you leave here. Pat put on a video of a couple of teenagers that the parents set up a rotary phone in the living room, gave them a telephone number, and gave them 4 minutes to complete the telephone call and videotaped it.
It's very-
It is
check it out.
laugh out loud funny.
Really.
You have to see this. It is laugh out loud funny. So when you leave, you have to check out
I'll
this
check it
video.
out.
But so we watched it, and we were all here laughing our brains out. And then what hit me was these teens could turn around and hand an older person an iPhone and ask them to make a phone call, and you probably see the same comedy.
Oh, yeah.
You probably see the same
yeah.
comedy of errors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Gross just walked in, but what we were talking about, Pat posted a 4-minute video of some parents with 2 teen boys, and they put a rotary phone in the middle of the room with a telephone number and asked them to make a phone call. And it was like you couldn't script how ridiculous it was that they just couldn't figure out how to make this.
It's interesting how they thought it through. Like
They couldn't think to pick up the phone and hold it to their ear. They
Right.
couldn't understand
they
like
kept trying to reset it. They said, "This is reset." They picked up the handset and dropped it down. This is
where's
how
the
we
buttons?
reset
They're
it.
like, where's the bu-" they kept pressing inside of the little round thing.
Like, what's up with these circles on here? Yeah.
It was
For the party lines.
it was
I remember the party lines. I remember the operator number,
You know
please. I
who was on our
remember,
party line?
I remember the first dial phones.
It was Gannett's grandmother.
You know whose house? B.G. Brown's grandfather's house, Billy's father. They had a telephone room in their house,
Oh,
and they had 2 lines. And when the dial phone came in, we were down there calling the other line. that day.
that's funny. It's crazy technology.
You'd be surprised, old people with iPhones. They got them now. They know
yeah,
what they're
yeah.
doing.
It's
Well,
not
it was
just the
funny
truth,
because
but-
about 10 years ago, there were the staunch people that would, older people that would make, like, I don't need that, and then,
Yep.
then little by little, each one of their peers would switch over and get one,
Yeah.
and then the same person, the I don't want a person, would have it. They'd be in the office and they'd be like, "Oh my God!
Today-
Do you know that you can get your weather on here? Oh my God! Did you see? I could look up, what the weather, all the
I knew a guy
radar.
that hated Facebook and said never, 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 till Facebook ruled the world.
Me? I never.
Remember those days?
Did I ever say I hate?
Oh yeah,
hated
you hated it in the old days. Until it becomes almost a necessity for some.
There's a lot of people like that. I would say, yeah, for sure.
Don't deny it, Joe.
She heard Joey go, and so now she's doing.
Now they all know her.
They don't know.
Roger Stone's not on it this morning.
Roger Stone is
Oh my God.
sitting in jail
Yep.
on West
Oh,
Palm
I
Beach.
saw that.
Waiting
yeah.
for his arraignment.
So tomorrow they're gonna have the wheelhouse. So are you familiar with what's happening in Ken Heck's building in the bottom floor?
No.
So Nate Cahill is doing what's called co-work space. They're renting out like shared office space in the bottom of his building. They did an incredible
A
renovation
little
there.
cluster.
Huh?
A little cluster.
Little cluster, yeah. So instead of having to have an individual office where your rent may be $800 or $1,000 a month,
Yep.
plus heat and all the other stuff, you have it's shared space. And
They're
it's
offering a switchboard?
24 hours.
Switchboard.
Rotary.
No, I'm
Rotary
serious. Because
switchboard.
you do.
I thought you were joking.
No, your
on
business
that.
publishes the number, and you call in. You actually have an assistant answer the phone for you and take messages and stuff. That's what those places do.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No, this
okay.
one doesn't have that. No.
Not yet. Not yet.
I'm an old guy.
They have different.
Big one in
there's-
Newburyport. Huge one.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, there's been the trend, starting about 10, 15 years ago of a lot of big businesses, they always had one central office and people would drive into Boston. And now there's so many businesses that you never go into a central office. You just have conference calls.
Right.
And then
Right.
you work from your home. But then if you have young children and you're trying to work from home, a lot of times you get distracted. You just can't. You can't, or you have young kids demanding your time and stuff like that. You just can't get
A
stuff
lot more
done.
self-employed people too.
Yeah, self-employed people.
Yeah, startups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
How
such
many are involved in it?
have rented space so
Yeah.
far. You mean? I
Yeah.
don't know.
He said he wants to rent up to 75%.
Up to 75% of the total that
There's
can go,
different
and then go from
configurations.
there.
There's individual
Offices.
seating or desk space. I'm not sure what the
Cubicles.
proper available, as well as larger.
Yeah, it all comes down to
Conference
square
room
footage. How
style.
much do you want?
They also had options of you could buy 10-day
really?
passes and stuff like that.
Probably
you can-
by an afternoon or a morning. Two people share the
Yeah,
same space.
open space that you can rent by the hour or the day.
and to get in there, it's cell phone. It grants you access to the locking system and stuff like that. So they'll be able to track who's in and out of there
Has
24
Ken
hours.
done this before with any of his
This
other
is
properties?
this is not Ken. Ken's renting the space to Nate Cahill.
Oh, I
Nate
got you.
Cahill is
Okay.
the
All right.
So
is
they're
the
having
guy.
a coffee tasting there tomorrow.
with Ian
As-
Vincent.
as an introduction to the space, I think.
Right, Ian Vincent is roasting coffee up. He's one of those North Gloucester guys, and he's come up with his own coffee, EIEIO coffee, and they're going to have a coffee
It
tasting.
is a
too.
catchy name.
Yeah. So you're teaching Charlotte young. So Kim has Pat's sparkly owl pendant, and just keeps shining it in front of Charlotte, and
But she's
Charlotte's just
playing with it.
mesmerized.
Saying,
Well, look, she has an owl shirt. Look, Joe.
Oh, she's got an owl shirt.
got a little
It's
owl shirt.
adorable. The Topside Grill is going to be having prime rib night starting
Oh, I
this
saw
Saturday.
that.
Every
That sounds
Saturday, prime rib
interesting.
night. Serenity. Did I mention the app yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. So the Serenity Group, Mark McDonough's outfit, I think you guys. I am a huge user of that, the Serenity card, which every month they seem like they give you $10 free to go in there and use their restaurants and free apps, birthday meal, which can be anything on the menu for during your birthday month. If you have the card, now they just switched over to you don't have to carry that card. You download the
Introduce
app,
an app,
and it
yeah.
loads the free stuff right onto your app, and very, very, it's pretty slick. I just downloaded
Yeah,
it.
and I put the information up in a post on Good Morning Gloucester.
Yeah, I
so
put
in
the
case
link.
Anybody's interested.
I put a link so you can download it to
I
your
like
phone.
Maggie's Farm.
I like Maggie. I like Hales. I think I like them all.
Hales is the one we were looking at. You've been there?
Hale Street, I love. I think they
Street,
have the
right.
best sushi. I like Hale Street. I like them all. I think that you can get something good at any one of their places, and especially when you use the app and you get, rewarded all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what they do with Latitude. Come summer.
Yeah.
Well,
Looking
did you
forward.
see we had the plans?
I know what they're doing.
Well, we published their plans, so
Yeah.
they got to turn it.
No,
So
I mean menu-wise and everything too.
yeah.
I'm not.
But the garage doors, I think,
Right.
is the really cool thing. That it's going to be all open to the harbor, and they're turning the bar is going to be facing outwards. What?
No, it's great. I can't wait to see because I tie up right there,
Right.
and there's always been a lack of activity, and that deck has been way underused for years. So, looking forward to it.
I think now that it's all wide
It'll be
open,
dangerous, Tony.
it'll be fantastic.
For you, maybe.
Ooh,
I'm retired
you've got time now. That's a
from
problem.
everything.
We're going to Feather and Wedge tonight. Finally,
Oh, good for you.
It's been months since we've
Did you
been there.
plan what you're going to have?
I haven't, but I usually like to. They cook their fish so perfectly there all the time.
You like to get
I'll probably end up getting a fish dish, but I will report back.
Okay.
I will report back. Has anybody had any good meals lately in town? Have you?
Halibut night before last at Passports was awesome. As good as any I've ever caught and had at home. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think he gets his fish from Jack Anderson.
It was good. It was
So
really good.
Jack is very the halibut Jack,
Yep.
very quality
About
conscious.
2 inches thick. It was
Friends.
perfect.
GloucesterCast.
Have you been out at all, Tony? Out and about town?
Took a prime rib home from Missouri last night.
How was it?
Good.
Yeah.
You ordered it to go?
I went in there and ordered. I had a meeting. Abby had work in Boston,
Oh, and there's Chris.
so I went there, sat at the bar, ordered it. It arrived in about 3 minutes. Took the bag, went home, chowed down.
Perfect. Nice move right there.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Drove by there yesterday and said we're way overdue for the Azorian.
Yeah, Thursday night's their prime rib special.
Oh, okay.
Well, good to know. There's another prime rib special in town.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah, I like that. They have great lunch specials.
I think Monday night is a Seaport Grill. Prime rib.
Monday night is Seaport, Thursday, so you could go 7 nights a week.
7 nights a week.
Last year it was the oysters. We haven't updated our dollar oyster thing.
No, we haven't.
That man is Chris.
Thursday nights is also Tono's Bar Bites menu, which
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan
That's
of.
great. That's a great
Huge
thing.
fan.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris. His name is Chris.
It's tough to get in there. So many people go in and the bars.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Yesterday I met
Azorian was
Chris at
Does good.
I met Chris at the Mom's Kitchen. We had the if you haven't had the sausage and biscuits and gravy there,
That's Chris.
it is ridiculous. Really, really good.
That's the white gravy.
Yeah. That could solve the sleeping problems, Joe.
There you go.
You have that
Yeah.
at night and it'll put you
Do you
right
guys
down
like-
for about
Take a
10 hours.
melatonin, Joe. Go
Do
get
you
some
guys like
melatonin.
fried chicken? Because they have fabulous fried chicken night every Thursday night.
Where?
Short and Main.
Oh, yeah?
Homemade biscuits.
Really?
Delicious vegetables, always some kind of like mashed potatoes or
Yeah.
something like that, and like 3 pieces of fried chicken.
Wow.
It's
Did you hear in the
really
tunnel that another artwork was taken from the restroom? Someone keeps going.
Oh,
there was
did we not talk about that?
We
Well,
did
the
talk
last
about it, yeah.
podcast.
Oh,
We
okay.
did.
So
Yeah.
twice now,
Twice.
above the men's urinals, there's
You get
one was stolen a couple months ago, and they replaced it, and it something just got stolen again this week. He has a $100 reward for if it comes back. But could you imagine? I mean, you would think at like more of a hot, less profile restaurant, more that would happen. I can't imagine what the clientele at Tono.
Right,
They're not
I know,
taking
I
it out the
can't-
front door.
No.
There's a door over on that
There's
side
a
of the
right
building.
going out towards the old
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah, they go out to the parking lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Short and Main, that area.
Walked in, what did they take?
I don't know if it was a painting or a photograph.
Yeah, we don't know.
There was the ore. Remember they put the ore
That was
someplace?
the first time.
The
First
ore.
one, I think was the one.
He didn't get it back?
No.
Wow.
I used to take
Chris
Barstools
McCarthy
when it
said he
was
thought
Oh,
he
yeah.
saw him on the fish
I got
fry.
2 coupons
Oh,
from
really?
bitches.
All right.
Cross and ripped his whalebone off the wall.
So I need you to. Are you gonna call Ralph right now?
Yeah.
Had it at home.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to say
I'm going
goodbye.
Ralph for Chris.
Okay. I'm gonna pause it right now. 1 second. All right, we're gonna do a call in with Ralph DiGiorgio right now. You gotta bring it closer, the phone closer to the.
Yeah.
Just pull the chair in. Pull the chair in.
Here's something you
Oh,
can't
there
do
we
with a rotary phone.
Ralph, you there?
I'm here.
So I texted you to ask you if you were available, and I said we were taping the podcast, and you called right away.
Oh, I was driving.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you don't want to get in an accident from texting or anything like that. Are you familiar with what happened yesterday with Jimmy Dalpiaz and Pat Dalpiaz? What they did to me?
No.
So we're trying to determine if this is a act of naive kindness, or if it was an act to try to put the Mamaus and the jinx on the Patriots. They gave me a mount.
Lucky is that?
Yeah, the Maloikyu, right? Exactly.
Oh.
So I told you.
Yes.
Ralph knows. Okay. So,
Yes.
So
Thank
they
you.
gave me a matted picture of the AFC Championship Boston Globe headline from the day after the AFC Championship, and Jimmy and Pat, being Buffalo Bills and New York Jets fans, we're trying to figure out if it's naive, because for them, an AFC Championship win would be like a Super Bowl and something to celebrate. But us, as breathing the rarefied air of New England Patriots fans, we don't celebrate AFC Championship games. We celebrate Super Bowl wins. So I'm trying to figure out if you...
championship ring is basically like, any other given Sunday.
Kissing your aunt. It's like tying your shoes in the morning.
Yeah, so do you think that was a malicious act of trying to jinx us, or do you think that was just a naive act of a Jets fan?
I gotta be honest with you, Joe. I think you've already wasted too much airtime on it.
Perfect answer.
I think so too.
No disrespect to Jim and Pat, but coming from that part of New England, and the state up there in New York, it's not even worth the fuel to fly up there anymore.
Yep.
We're starting to think that too, Ralph.
So what would you do with this thing up until after the Super Bowl? What would you do with this poster?
After the Super Bowl or before the Super Bowl?
Right leading up until after the game, what would you do with this thing? What should I do
Well,
with it?
I can probably answer for Chris better than myself. Chris is going to tell you to wipe your ass with it.
We've had yeah.
But listen. It's one thing when you have a team going to the Super Bowl for the very first time. Everybody's nerves are up. Everybody's jittery. Everybody's worried about what's going to happen. Oh, my God. The nerves going to take over Tom Brady. And this guy he's got ice running through his veins. This is just like another day for him. He's not going to play any different than he has in the past couple months. And it's going to be who's the better team. Are the Rams better than the Patriots? Honestly, I don't think so. And I'm not just trying to say that because I'm a Patriots fan. I don't think the Rams are a better team than the Patriots. Tom Brady has proven himself time after time that he's the greatest quarterback in the game of football, and probably ever in the game of football. And he has a better chance than anybody to win that game next Sunday.
Yeah. Well, it's 52 players, though. It's not just Tom Brady, right?
I understand it's not just Tom Brady, but look what happened at the end of that game.
You can't look what happened at the end of that game.
Okay? How many quarterbacks are going to push that ball down the field like Tom Brady?
Pat Mahomes did. 39 seconds.
Yeah, well, guess what? He's playing golf today, isn't he?
Oh, I'm hearing you. This is Gronk's best year with the fewest amount of catches.
Well, blocking.
And you know why it's his best year with the fewest amount of
Yes, I do.
catches? Is because every time he steps on the field and he goes on that line, there's two guys pumping his leg because that you can't put one-on-one on Gronk. So if you got two guys on Gronk, someone else is open. Edelman's open. Hogan's open. That gives Brady the ability to do his magic and get that ball down the field because there's two guys on Gronk. And if there's one guy on Gronk, the ball goes to Gronk.
Yeah, in addition to that, though, he's created the running game with his blocking this year.
That's the most underappreciated part of his game.
Whatever end he's on, it's opened up for the run.
Yep, I agree.
So, Joe, you know what I'm doing right now?
What's that?
I'm in my kitchen. I'm making breakfast
In Gloucester or in Middleton?
in Middleton.
Ah, what are you making?
I'm just making some scrambled eggs, some ham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim, you want to see? Pick up the FaceTime, Jim. I'll show you.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Ralph is FaceTiming us right
All right.
there.
Can you see it?
What's going on here. You have to
Okay.
Oh, I
accept
gotta
it,
hit
Jimmy.
accept. Oh,
Let's see.
You're gonna hit accept.
You're like the kid with the
he's
rotary
trying
phone.
to.
Oh, there we go. We got him. Oh wow! Look at Ralph's kitchen. Show everybody Ralph's kitchen. He's not messing around. He's got the industrial stove over there. That's in his office. He's got this ridiculous setup right there.
Nice.
Yeah, that would make Felicia envious right there.
I know. So, yeah, I'm just going to make myself a little...
Chris can't see it.
Oh. Maybe after breakfast you can make a little poster for these guys.
So what's on the agenda for today? What do you guys, other than football? I mean, we can talk about football, that's for sure.
Well, we talked about
I'm going into
the seafood show in Boston. We talked about Pat posted a video of these teenagers trying to operate a rotary phone that had me rolling on the ground laughing.
I know, I saw that. Isn't that hysterical?
Oh my God, so funny. We're going out for dinner tonight, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
You're gonna let Kate and I are gonna treating you and Kim tonight for feather and wedge.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. We're gonna go.
That's gonna happen. You can buy at the Elks beforehand. We'll meet at the Elks beforehand, and then we'll buy for feather and wedge.
No, we'll also just pick you up, no?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea.
So,
All right. Yeah, you don't want to get in my truck. Kim, your wife she'd have the heebie-jeebies if she got in my truck.
My wife wouldn't get in your truck. You know, if you put $1 million on the table.
You want to leave it on there.
All right. Well, it's good talking to you, Ralph. I love the football analysis. Give me the prediction on the game. What's the score? Final score?
That's yours by rope.
Final
Yeah.
score, well, I got to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a show. I don't think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a higher-scoring game than it was last week because
31-37.
I think Brady's
It's going to be in the
he's
50s.
hitting on all 8 cylinders right
I don't
now.
think
So
so.
I'm going to say Patriots are going to at least be in the 30s. I'm going to say 33-27.
Wow, 33-27. So you're saying the Patriots are going to cover the spread. The spread's 3. You're taking the Pats.
The spread is 3, and the Patriots are going to cover the spread.
All right. There you go. You heard it from Ralph. All right, Mark, what's your prediction? What's the score?
Right, so I'm going to go against them.
You know, just like Lobster, and I don't make predictions. I'm just hoping they win the game, and it's a good game.
All right. You got a prediction?
I think Sue's going to be overamped, and he's going to get himself thrown out of the game.
Dominic and Sue, they generally will let the players play.
I don't think so. Not with this.
Not after last week.
Not with this animal.
I think this game's going to be called a lot tighter after
He's
last week.
overamped.
He's
I
an
said-
animal. He's
I
an
said
animal.
35-24. Pats.
Jimmy said 35-24 Pats.
Pats. That's what I said.
You're not far off, Jimmy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to make up for the poster thing because I don't think I can show up anywhere else now.
Yep. There you go.
Hey, is anybody talk to Chris?
No. You bumped him off, so you were the first call.
Sizzling. There you go.
All right, we got
water.
Ralph. I'll see you tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later on.
Thanks, pal.
Okay, we'll see you.
So there you go. We got Pat. Are you going to give a prediction?
I'm not.
Yeah, you've already done enough damage.
Yeah.
You want to hear my prediction?
Yeah. You don't like.
I was going to say I didn't think
Chinese
I
food and
didn't think
Doritos,
you-
Chris.
Yeah.
Chinese food and Doritos.
maybe the go-to Super Bowl party food.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could take it out of the sleeve and use that poster just the way it is to make your guacamole, Joe. It's a cutting board.
We have to.
So I gotta tell you, Abby did a podcast for Google in LA this week.
Yep.
They had, I'm looking at this setup. They had 2 banks of
Microphones.
tables with monitors, 2 rows of like 10 each.
Yeah.
You know, unbelievable studio. You know, it was a podcast. It was a
A professional studio situation.
Oh, it's Google.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what this is,
They
right?
print
I
money.
mean,
But yeah, it was just, you know, she showed me the set. And she said, "Look at this thing. This is unbelievable." Look at it. Yes.
No, it's exactly well. It's incredible, right? It's all I'm operating out of is an iPad, and this Samsung Go mic, which I've bought more expensive mics, and I love the audio that comes out of this.
Yeah.
You listen to this podcast tonight. You tell me if it sounds inferior. The one where they have all that incredible stuff, I'm sure it'll sound, you know, incrementally better.
it is pretty
But dollar
Had
for
video.
oh yeah, well that's great too. But
video.
dollar for dollar, you tell me if this isn't adequate
Yeah.
when you listen to the podcast.
It always sounds great.
It didn't sound great yesterday morning because we were at my house and we had the pellet
Oh.
stove hadn't shut off, so we had that
Yeah.
background noise.
Yeah.
Other than that, 99% of our podcast, I think it sounds just fine.
She has done other ones from her home office.
Yeah, and they sound probably just fine, right?
They do, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't
You know, Tony doesn't listen to them.
really
All
like it.
right, there you go.
Just get-
All right, well tonight is the buoy auction at Cape Ann.
Tonight.
It's at
Nobody asked me for a boot.
Cruiseport.
They paint them. The kids paint their own, you fool.
So thanks to Sherry and the team at Cruiseport for hosting. It's one of their biggest fundraisers of the year. GloucesterCast 319 is in the books, and their exit music is playing right now.
What's the name of Romney's company there? The big outfit. he bought?